Federal Labor is attempting to link Tony Abbott and the Liberal Party to the tobacco industry's fight against a looming ban on logos and branding on cigarette packets. From 2012, cigarettes will be sold in plain, standardised packs carrying large graphic warnings against smoking. Anti-smoking groups and health advocates have hailed the changes as groundbreaking when the government announced them in April. Last night, Lateline revealed the tobacco industry has plans to halt that reform, and tonight we have more on precisely who's behind the efforts to derail the plan. Peter Lloyd reports.
He may be enthusiastic about his own health, but Tony Abbott leads a party that takes hundreds of thousands of dollars in donations from big tobacco. When asked if he would commit a coalition government to Labor's plan for plain packaging for cigarettes due to come into effect from January 2012, he said only this.
We'll certainly consider that in government.
Last night, Lateline revealed that 3 global tobacco manufacturers, Imperial, British American Tobacco and Philip Morris, are funding a media campaign by shopkeepers who want the policy overturned.
We do want to make it very clear that the Alliance is in this for the long term.
How deep are the pockets?
Again, it depends on how long the campaign runs. However, we do want to see the policy overturned.
Cheryl Moon's newly registered Alliance of Australian Retailers is the group reportedly receiving $5 million from Big Tobacco. A newspaper and TV campaign rolls out from tomorrow. The group receives media advice from a recently established public relations and lobbying firm called the Civic Group. Civic directors include Andre Puig, a former Victoria ALP State Secretary, and Jason Aldworth, an aspiring Liberal candidate and former director of Crosby Textor, the market research and polling company which advises the Liberal Party. Today, Crosby Textor issued a statement denying any involvement in the campaign against proposed laws on plain packaging for tobacco.
Crosby Textor is not involved in any capacity with the Alliance of Australian Retailers, and any suggestion to the contrary is completely false.
On the hustings, Tony Abbott too was forced to deny connections to the campaign.
Are you personally or anyone in the Liberal Party behind the latest advertising from tobacco against the government?
The coalition has absolutely nothing to do with it.
And you're...
Absolutely nothing to do with it.
Campaigning in Queensland, Julia Gillard challenged the Liberals to a ban of a different kind.
The Labor Party doesn't take donations from tobacco companies. I think that's wrong. I think Mr Abbott needs to come clean about what participation the Liberal Party has in the tobacco campaign, about contemporary donations by tobacco companies. I think Australians are pretty worried that Mr Abbott's health policy is hostage to the influence of the tobacco giants.
Labor no longer accepts political donations from tobacco companies. The most up-to-date figures show the Liberal Party in just 1 year receiving $158,000 from Philip Morris and $140,000 from British American Tobacco. Later in the day, the Labor leader returned to the question of Tony Abbott's apparent equivocation on plain packaging laws.
On the 30th of April, we had a debate about plain paper packaging where I was advocating it, to which I said during the debate, me speaking, the plain paper packaging, yes or no, are you going to keep taking tobacco donations? Mr Abbott, fine, fine, fine. If it shuts you up for a second, yes, Julia.
The man who chaired the task force that recommended plain packaging says Tony Abbott must declare his hand.
Tomorrow they should say they're going to support this legislation for plain packaging.
Peter Lloyd, Lateline.